Inform. True crime, conspiracies, her game. Melissa Jade, remember her name. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Microphone fierce like a roaring lion, unveiling secrets people been hiding. True crime queen of the digital scene, Melissa's got you hooked on her screen. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Murders to cover-ups, nothing misses. Melissa's here to share her guesses. She's got theories big and bold, no stone unturned, no case cold. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. From murders to cover-ups, nothing misses. Melissa's here to share her guesses. She's got theories big and bold, no stone unturned, no case cold. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. 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 She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame.
Hello, everybody. Happy Members Only Monday. Did you really, Samantha? I was curious who else knows about this, but first, thank you, Girls Nana, for 7 months. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you, Crime All the Time, for our baby. It's nice to be on a break so I can make a live. Hell yes. Thank you, Molly Henry, for 15 months. Hi, MD in chat. Hello. Hey, Tess. Hi, Julie A. To put a question mark in the chat if you are familiar with who Laura Owen is. Hi, Coffee and Skeletons, because I'm pivoting from our normal coverage because I've fallen down this rabbit hole. And I'm like, you know what? I really want to discuss this with you guys because yes, Tess. Yes, it is. But it is so deep. And she reminds me so much of Letitia Stout. And you guys know, I love a good liar. And when I say that, obviously, I don't love the lies, but there's not, I don't know, there's nothing that pisses me off than not only a liar, but a bad liar. And I love watching them expose themselves. I'm very interested. Yes, Law Talk with Mike. Hell yeah. I love Law Talk with Mike. And so she's going to trial as of now in January 2026, and I want to cover it. And so I'm like, this is a perfect time for anyone who isn't familiar to get caught up, because when I tell you it is a shit show, it's a shit show. It's a complete poop show. So for this live, we're going to do an introduction overview of what it's about, even though there's so much, but an introduction overview, what it's about. And we're going to move in to the court hearings because you have to watch the hearings. And I assure you, it's not a long drawn out boring. No, it's oh my God, no way is this happening. It is crazy. Oh, then buckle up, Coffee and Skeletons. You're going to be on a bumpy ride with us. Welcome, Nate. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Okay. So, and hello to anyone who may be behind the paywall, but just watching. She keeps on, Nate. She keeps on. So let me pull up our missing child. Hi, so there's that. So let me pull up our missing child. Here is, and I'm so sorry if I mispronounce it, but it's Tanila Epiphany Barnes, who has been missing since September 29th, 2025 from North Las Vegas, Nevada. She is 14 years old. It says all photos shown are of Tanila, and she may change her hairstyle. So we have additional photos, and she looks different in every photo, honestly. Oh, girls, Nana, me too, Samantha. I'm telling you, you're gonna be hooked. So if you or anyone you know has information on her whereabouts, please contact the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department at 1-702-828-3111. Okay, you guys ready for this? Like, whew, I'm going to try to give an overview. So, how many of you guys know the TV show The Bachelor? I never watched The Bachelor, but like this has to do with The Bachelor. There was a bachelor named Clayton Echard. Let me get. Okay. So this story is going to focus around a woman named Laura Owen. And there's going to be a few guys, but the main guy that we're going to focus on is Clayton Echard. This is Clay. He was part, I don't know what season of The Bachelor, same Coffee and Skeletons. So, an overview of what happened. So, Laura, like, I'm trying to like figure out how to go about this. Okay. Laura and Clay had a very brief relationship. And when I say a relationship, kind of like a one-night stand, except here's the thing. Clay was showing Laura real estate. Hi, Harlot. And they ended up hooking up, but according to Clay, never had sex, okay? Never had sex. They had oral sex, but no penetration. That is going to be a huge piece of this that you're going to need to know. So the very next day, Clay told Laura, listen, that was highly inappropriate. I want to keep things professional. Can't do that again. And Laura was like, oh, hell no. Okay. Are you familiar, Harlot? She was like, oh, hell no. Okay. So next thing you know, Laura claims she's pregnant with Clay's child. Except, again, they never had intercourse. And that turned into pregnant with twins. Now, I think he was on like CBD or like, like some type of THC gummy to where she gaslit him enough at one point, I think, to make him question whether or not there was quick penetration. And so this whole long situation ensued where she essentially, and we're going to go through these emails, she essentially was holding over his head the pregnancy of these twins. And the only way she would be willing to get an abortion is if he agreed to date her exclusively. And if he did not agree to date her exclusively, that she would 100% be having these twins. So in 2023, Laura Owens filed a paternity suit claiming that she had become pregnant with twins from an encounter with Clayton Echard, okay? Filed in court, like paternity, okay? She later, though, said that she suffered a miscarriage and sought to dismiss that suit. And that's jumping ahead a bit, but just bear with me. So her claims included submission of ultrasounds, pregnancy videos, laboratory test results, blood tests, and other documentation in support of her claim into court, because they went to court, okay, for multiple things. And when I say that she went to court with a fake baby bump, these are the type of lies that I'm so interested in. We're going to watch a court hearing where she essentially, it's on Zoom, her head is not in frame. All that's in frame is this fake baby bump that she's rubbing, okay? We now know it's fake, but it's the cringiest thing you're ever going to watch, okay? Hi, Clicker. I know. Hi, Carolyn Coop. Thank you, KV, for becoming a member. Hi, Marie Joey. So in June 2024, a Maricopa County Superior Court judge ruled in favor of Echard, and the judge determined that Owens had knowingly presented a false claim rather than simply failing to prove paternity. As part of that ruling, Echard was awarded $149,000 in legal fees. So the court also referred Laura's case to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office for possible criminal charges, which is exactly what ended up happening. So in May 2025, and that's how we're getting to more recent, Owens was indicted on multiple felony counts connected to the paternity claim. The charges included fraudulent schemes and artifices, forgery, multiple counts of perjury, tampering with physical evidence. And according to investigators, between May 2023 and June 2024, she allegedly altered an ultrasound image, fabricated a pregnancy video, and made false statements under oath on multiple occasions. So the criminal case against Owens is currently ongoing, and the indictments are only accusations at this point. She hasn't been convicted. Again, January 2026 is when the trial is going to start, and we're going to cover it. So it was May 2023 that Owens and Echard reportedly had an encounter that prompted this entire dispute. August 2023, she filed the paternity petition seeking child support, only pregnant, which we now know she was never pregnant, but she filed a fucking paternity for child support when she was pregnant still, okay? September and October 2023, both parties obtained civil protective orders against each other, and the paternity test developments and disputes over testing followed that. November 2023, there was a court appearance, and Owens told the court that she was weeks along, okay? She was 24 weeks at one point in this litigation hearing. But by December 2023, she said she had miscarried and moved to dismiss the entire paternity action. June 2024, after an evidentiary hearing, Judge Julia Ann Mata entered a ruling finding the court could not find Owens was ever pregnant with Echard's child, and concluded that Owens, like I said, knowingly presented a false claim. May 2025, Maricopa County Grand Jury returned an indictment, which I just said, fraudulent schemes, artifices, forgery, perjury, tampering with physical evidence, to where we are currently in a trial date set for January 2026. Okay, so where I'm going to start, because again, there is so much and it's all over the place, but yes, it's the Bachelor guy, little D. So where I'm going to start, and I think is a good point to start, is I'm going to start reading you guys the emails before the court happens, okay? Basically, the time period where before they ever went, I don't know if she filed for paternity yet, but these are the email exchanges between Laura and Clay that ultimately led to them going to court and getting the orders against each other. She emailed him over 500 times without like barely any type of responses from Clay. And so you are going to see her literally try to make a contract a contract, like I said, in exchange to get an abortion of these made up twins to date her exclusively. So after we read the emails, we're going to watch the court hearings. And I'm telling you, they are so fascinating and so cringe because you are going to watch her bury herself deep, deep into lies. And now you know, like, yo, this woman wore a baby bump to court. She submitted fake sonograms, ultrasound, and this wasn't the first guy she's done it to. There are others. Booyah. There are multiple other guys she has done this to. Okay. So I'm just going to jump right into it and we're going to start and read these emails together. Now, there's a channel and I'm going to drop the link for this channel. They have everything regarding this case and it's a really good channel. I don't even know how to pronounce it, which is a problem, but it's called like Schnitzel Ninja. But I'm going to read the emails from that channel. I would definitely go check it out, but I'm going to ask you guys, don't cheat if you didn't watch it yet, because wait for me, because I like to hear raw reactions. Yo, bitches be crazy all the time, KB. They be crazy all the time, but this one, it's pulling me in the way that Tisha pulled me in. Like, how can you lie like this? I don't understand. Is it Clicker? Oh, awesome. Okay, so here is the link to the video I'm playing from Schnitzels. And let's just go through this together. So this is an email from Lauren, and it's dated June 28th, 2023. Okay, let me maybe I could get like that. Okay. Okay, so the subject line. Oh, wait, no, if I do it like that, you guys can't. Okay. So it says the subject line is having the baby if I don't hear back tonight. Okay. Laura to Clay, June 28th, 2023. I'm physically and emotionally exhausted from the pregnancy and all of this. I just need clarity as to what we are doing. I have offered to give you control over the outcome of the pregnancy if we date exclusively and care for each other. I bring a lot to the table, and I feel like I could really make you a better person. Yes, I've called out your BS a lot, but it's because I know you are better than how you act sometimes. I get your anxiety because I've been there and truly believe in your mission, despite the fact that you haven't shown me kindness when clearly I have been emotionally struggling through all of this. I couldn't give a shit that you were the Bachelor and still know nothing about you other than the clips I saw of you with 2 girls when I was angry at you. I want to get to know you and be a great partner for you. I would feel exactly the same way if I was in this situation with any man. I need to care about someone and trust them to consider ending a human life when I want nothing more than to be a mom someday. Don't you understand that? In regards to intimacy, I know it's important to you, and it is to me as well. If you think about it, having sex with me is the safest thing you can do at this point. I'm already pregnant, and if we choose to go this route and trust each other enough to have sex, then we are at the point where I would be taking abortion pills. So there's no risk. Also, under no circumstances would I have an abortion if you want to be on a dating app or seeing other women while we are figuring this out. I would want to date with intention. I know what I bring to the table as a partner, and I'm well aware that you don't want to become a father right now. So it's a win-win situation for you, but it's a huge leap of faith for me. You haven't been trustworthy to this point, so I'm the one taking a gamble on the outcome of this. You could be leading me on, but I would take your word that you're not, because for whatever reason, despite how you've treated me, I believe in you. We're both hard-headed as hell, but I think we can make a very good team. If I didn't think so, I would just go ahead and have the kid since, like I said, I want to be a mom more than anything in this world. I need to know your decision tonight because I am getting rid of the abortion pills if it's a no or if I don't hear back from you. I really do need to adjust my seizure medication and take other precautions for my health and the well being of our baby if we are going to have a kid. You're the father. There's no two ways about it. So saying no here is a guarantee you'll be a dad. Laura. And that is the opening email. That's going to give you a great little taste of what's about to come. Okay. And thank you, Lady F&T, for 11 months. Long time. It's been too long. It's so good to see you. That's just a little taste. So again, you have to remember, you have to remember, okay? They never had sex, according to him. They had oral sex. Like she gave him oral. Dude, all this from a BJ. But here's the bizarre part. When we get to the court hearings, guys, again, she is going to be in court with a huge baby bump. There's going to be photos that she sent of her stomach protruding. Like, it's actually bizarre. Ultrasounds that she stole from someone else. Like, but imagine submitting all that evidence into court, because that's what she did. Yo, it's the craziest thing, Harlot, because she's saying, hey, I'm only willing to take the life of our child if you're willing to date me. But if you're not willing to date me, I'm going to have the child. Yep, clicker. Ooh, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited because I inadvertently stumbled upon this. I listen to court hearings all day long while working. I really like listening to the court hearings. And this just had come up on my algorithm. And I'm like, what in the world am I watching? And that was it. Ever since then, I've fallen very down the rabbit hole. So just wait, because these are going to get even crazier, okay? Okay. So next one, July 1st, 2023. The final opportunity to consider abortion, okay? Because she just did it multiple times. Yes, clicker. And it sucks because the first judge, and this really does suck because I feel like a lot of times, and I'm trying to think of how to say it without being defensive, or I'm sorry, offensive. You guys know how I feel about some girls. They're trouble. And I've seen, and I've said this many times during my Letitia Stout coverage, I've seen girls lie specifically about pregnancy or abuse. And it pisses me off because, first of all, it takes away from real victims, but also it's scary for some guys who have never done anything. And just something as simple as the accusation. And one of the judges that we'll be watching a hearing from did not even give him the time of day and was like, clearly she's pregnant, and awarded her a protection order. And it's really fucked up, honestly. Okay. So the final opportunity to consider abortion. Clayton, I've prayed that this email will have an impact on you, unlike my others. It's truly the last one you will get from me where abortion is a possibility. I have taken time to reflect on what I've been going through with our pregnancy and how you have acted towards me. You've shown no compassion or empathy, while I have been endlessly patient with you and provided you with an absurd amount of evidence that I am pregnant. Let me pause. She did go to his house and she did take a pregnancy test. He didn't watch her pee, but she went into his bathroom and it did come up positive. Now, again, there's nothing to ever show she was ever pregnant. So ask yourself, whose pee did she fucking steal, or how did she get that pregnancy test to come up positive? So at like in the beginning, I imagine he was so gaslit to where maybe I was fucked up and put it in for a second. Like, but no, he stood adamant that they never had sex. Yep. Exactly. So I've been completely honest with you, as displayed by my willingness to send you anything you've needed at any time, and proven to you that based on when my pregnancy test became positive, that there isn't a doubt that you are the father. I understand that you, and of course the court, want a paternity test. And I've proactively been trying to schedule that with 3 different labs. I've contacted Choice DNA, ArcPoint Labs, and any lab test now to see when is the soonest we can do it. If I weren't pregnant with your kid, wouldn't I be avoiding that at all costs? You also, of course, know that I was accepted as a patient at Scottsdale Perinatal Associates. If I weren't pregnant, why would a high-risk specialty practice that only accepts client based on records that verify their pregnancy and their condition take me as a client? You've also been provided with recordings of 2 phone calls with the staff at Scottsdale Perinatal Associates that confirm their receipt of the ultrasound from Planned Parenthood and verify the pregnancy, along with acknowledge the fact that we will speak about the possibility of twins with the doctor on July 24th. So at this point, she didn't even throw in the twins yet. Okay. Yeah, I need to still find out, Harlot, like, did he buy the test, like, or did she bring the test? Like, I don't know that yet. In addition, you asked for photos within the hour of abortion pills to verify that I had gone. How would I have been able to send photos of and with the pills with my name on them if I hadn't actually gotten them? In addition, why did I offer to take a pregnancy test immediately when I got to your apartment? And why would it have been positive if I wasn't pregnant? Ooh, so see, even that line, like if that wasn't planned, then and she just showed up with a test, that would make more sense of how she got it to be positive if she already fucked with it. No person in their right mind would think that there was a chance that my pregnancy wasn't real. So your lack of belief in it makes no sense. We are coming up on 2 weeks of me, the mother of your child, being blocked on text messaging and every platform. After you said that it was immature of you to have done and that you would not do it again. You promised to support me. It's been humiliating to have to rely on emails to communicate with you that you have mostly been unresponsive to. And when they have, you haven't been kind-hearted. I have poured my heart out to you as I've explained why this decision is so difficult for me because my father is dying right now. I've explained that the circumstances feel all too personal because my grandmother was almost aborted. At this point, I look stupid for continuing to respond to your endless requests for evidence when you have provided me with so much more than you needed. It was humiliating to pee on a stick in front of you, yet I did it. And when the test came back positive, you still didn't believe it? Do you really think anyone would agree with the amount that you have questioned me despite all of the documentation you have been given? I never would have threatened to go to the media if you hadn't told me at the start of this that you would do just that if the pregnancy wasn't real because, quote, people like you need to be held accountable. Your behavior after discovering that I wasn't lying has been selfish. You haven't stepped up as a 30-year-old man who would be there for the mother of the child when you are half responsible for the situation, which is cowardly. I have told you why mental health matters so much to me because what I have gone through and opened up about a dark family secret that my grandma committed suicide. and how it impacted my dad. You didn't even have the decency to respond to me. Given your behavior, I have absolutely no issue going to the media anonymously after the paternity test and leaking what I have attached in the Dropbox file. Oh, we'll go into what she attached. I don't even need to explain the story because your words and treatment of me say it all. If this is how you choose to treat me, I have absolutely no allegiance or loyalty to you and would be fully convinced that your mission was an attempt to stay in the public eye, which kills me to say because I really think that deep down, you do care. I have been praying and praying for you to show me who you really are. God keeps telling me that you are a good person and someone whose life I can enhance. So I don't know why things have been as they are. I honestly wish he would be telling me differently because it's hard to keep believing in someone who is so demeaning in these circumstances. If the man you have been is who you are, you deserve to be held accountable. But my God, I don't want to do that. Hi, for Shiggles. Ah, clicker. That's crazy. So she says, you can't say you haven't been given a voice when I have told you that I will have an abortion if we try things out for a few weeks and have a good reason for aborting a child. So far, it seems like you want to terminate the pregnancy because you don't want to grow up and because it would impact your dating life. Those are not good enough reasons to end a life. These words feel menacing because you know I like you and want to try things out with you. I don't deserve to feel hurt at this point in my life and my pregnancy when I haven't done anything to deserve it. I have no desire for money because I have more than enough. I have no desire for fame because I experienced what that was for the entire time I was in San Francisco. I completely understand why you would be suspicious of women after you for being the Bachelor, but that is so not me. And in fact, I think that's the least interesting thing about you. I have never felt more empowered in my life than when we were doing real estate together and crave feeling that confidence again. That was because of you. There is so much about you that I find admirable, inspiring, and sexy and attractive. You're smarter than you think, charismatic, and capable of doing so much good in the world. I know that if you and I tried things out, we would end up elevating each other to new heights in our careers. Like I've said over and over again, you don't like me because I'm pregnant with your kid, not because of who I am. You haven't gotten to know me, and it's been your loss. I've known your qualities that no other woman would during this process. And that includes being brave enough to stand up to you and hold you accountable to your actions. I know I've said that it was your last chance to make a decision a lot, but this time I really mean it. I am completely at peace with the likely outcome that I will have your child. I do see a lot of hard times ahead if that's what we choose without considering an abortion, but if that's what's meant to be, it will be. You wouldn't be obliging to make the decision to date exclusively before deciding whether or not to have an abortion. I know how valuable I am as a partner, and it really would be your loss not to see that yourself. I know I could get any man on the dating apps or the bars, so I'm by no means desperate. I also know that you are sexually attracted to me, despite the fact that we only hooked up one time while you were very, very high. You obviously enjoyed it, even though you can't really have seen if we were a match based on your mental status at the time. Being with me would be a major win for you. So you wouldn't be doing a favor by being with me. I would feel the same way if someone else was the father of my child. I would want to try to be together like most religious people do. And in fact, as you know, marriage was the likely outcome of an unexpected pregnancy. So I'm not asking for a lot and make the decision together. Maybe we would decide to keep him or her, which would be a beautiful thing. If we decide not to, maybe we'd work towards having that in the future. I know that we were brought together for a reason, and it's too bad that you've seen that reason as God just, hold on, I can't see this. As God just using me to guide you to another level. Dude, so again, she is saying, like, if he does not agree to date her exclusively, 100% she's getting the abortion because she needs a good reason to consider getting an abortion. Them being together is a decent reason. Him saying that I'm not ready to be a father, nor do I want children, that's not a reason to end a life. How crazy is this? But wait, there's more. That email isn't done. I just need to take water. I'm telling you, just hold on. I've said the same with like Letitia Stout, and that never disappointed. This one, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy because the court hearing says it all. It like you're going to watch her. I cringed watching it. It was the first thing I watched, and it was her standing up intentionally with her head cut off. You could not see her face in a court hearing for 2 hours with just this fake baby bump and her rubbing it. Like all that's in the camera view is this bump. She did. She said, listen, it's a very sensitive subject because my grandmother was almost aborted. No, Amanda, she wasn't, but she did her own TED Talk. You could find her TED Talk out there. Just crazy. So there's that because she's done this to like 3 other guys. So, and look, you see this clickable link at the bottom, pregnancy evidence for Clayton. Don't worry, we're going to go through all of it. This is what she's charged with because all the evidence she attached is fake. Okay. So she writes, I come home tomorrow afternoon. So if you want us to consider an abortion, this really is our last chance because of the timing and the fact that neither of us would want to end the pregnancy once there is a heartbeat. I would like to get together tomorrow night to talk and to explore intimacy. It's time for you to make an effort if that is something we are considering. Obviously, I would love to have sex in the future and feel like I am the safest person you could have sex with since I'm pregnant. But if you really think, like you said yesterday, my goal was to date and get pregnant during this time, we can absolutely hold off on it. However, it occurred to me that you might believe me more about paternity if you were inside of me and you felt how tight I would be after not having sex in more than a year. Maybe then you'd believe that I hadn't been sleeping around. And again, you wouldn't be doing me any big favor. Having sex with me is a privilege and not something I have done for a long time. If you either don't get back to me tonight, or if you give me the final word that you don't want to date and choose the outcome of the pregnancy, we are 100% having the child and there is no going back. I mean it, and I am at peace either way. My mental health and well-being is affecting our child, and I would blame you if we have a special needs kid and discover that my stress hormones and blood pressure cause that. I just need you to make a decision. Clearly, given the evidence I have given throughout the process that I have put together in the attached Dropbox file, I am pregnant. I have proactively worked to arrange prenatal paternity tests myself, which should prove to you that I know you're the father. There really are only these 2 outcomes. So if you want to keep believing there's not a pregnancy or that you're not the father, you will be sorely mistaken, and it will be too late for us to consider an abortion. I would have no issue going to the media after the prenatal paternity test to explore your horrible treatment of me during this time and lack of compassion despite your mission. If you would stay with me for a few weeks to get to know me, to have an abortion and then block me and go MIA as you have in the past, please don't make that decision. I am talking about really giving things a shot in a different way than either of us have in the past, since this is a unique circumstance. If you wouldn't be excited, don't make that choice. If you're truly not into me, I would rather stick with my morals and have the child. I am only considering an abortion because I know that's what you want. So if that alone doesn't make me stand out from other women, good luck finding one who would care that much to sacrifice their own values and morals because they believe in your mission. I would trust and respect you enough for you to make the decision on your own as to whether or not we have the abortion. Do you realize how big of a deal that is for me to offer? I would love to be a mom and want that in the future more than anything in the world. But God and you, depending on what you decide, are responsible for deciding when that is. If it's now, I would be thrilled. But I really do believe in you and the message you want to spread. So please show me that my faith in you isn't misplaced. I would also be so appreciative of the consideration you would be showing for my feelings and why it would be important for me that I would promise to keep everything that happened between us. You need to understand that allowing you to make the decision would be the biggest leap of faith and sacrifice of my life. So if you don't appreciate that, go find someone else and we will move forward with having the child. If you don't respond, I know you will end up regretting it because I am offering to give you not just a say, but the say in the outcome of our pregnancy. In my heart, I think we will both regret not exploring the abortion option because there will be no going back after this. Please let me know your decision, and regardless, please be kind. Hope we are on the same page, and in that case, hope to see you tomorrow. If not, I genuinely mean it when I say, congrats on being a dad. Laura. Dude. Oh, hey, Nanya. Like, I am so invested in this at this point. She is like, I've never, ever in my life. So she is saying, when she's saying the abortion option, the only option to the abortion is if they date exclusively. That is the only option that comes with having an abortion. If that is not an option, if he is not going to date her, she's having the baby. Now, again, there is no baby. There are no twins, nothing. Okay. Part of me has to just jump real quick just to give you guys like a peek of what type of evidence we're going to be looking at. I can't. Okay. So again, this is Laura Owens when she is indicted and arrested, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. Thank you. So that's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Hey, Shakto, congratulations. Please. Thanks. So there's that. If you've got one of those memberships, thank you so much. And we're going to go through the body cam footage that just got released. Okay. But let me grab her. Where is? These are all the motions. Where'd it go? I just had it. Huh. Where'd it go? Okay. This is going to be a clip from the court hearing we're going to go over next for the next part. How do I do it? What? Work. No, not this. This one. Of course, this one's not going to freaking work.
There's so many things I can't share. I've got people.
Screen grab of a Reddit thread saying how to win the scariest costume contest, and it's me.
Why isn't the one working that I want to work? Okay, hold on. Okay. Here is one of the photos that you're going to see submitted into evidence that she had sent Clay. Now, she is a very... Samantha! Thank you, Samantha. That's very kind. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Congratulations, guys. This is one of... She's a small girl. She's very tiny. Yet, there are photos of her that she sent to prove she's pregnant. Now, I can't explain it. I don't know. You'll see when we get into a specific court hearing where they have experts testifying about whether or not she could be pregnant. Is it so? She had a sister who was pregnant at the time, and I know that she used her sister when it was her dad in the hospital, but I wasn't sure about this one, Clicker. So this is her actual sister too, dude. And then, okay, she sent when she wanted to show when she wanted to show Clay that she was pregnant with twins, she took and sent him a sonogram. Things like that are what is attached in that Dropbox. Yet Reddit and the internet did what they do, and they were able to take and find that she stole this sonogram from someone who posted this 6 years prior. 6 years prior, okay? And again, this is all on the channel I was just telling you about. I'll drop the link to them again. But look.
Ninja.
Hey guys, it's Schnitzel
Oh my
Ninja.
goodness.
On October 6, 2023, Laura Owens emailed Clayton Echard her 100 million% real ultrasound video, with the video dated September 5th, 2023. But Reddit quickly discovered the video wasn't Laura's, that it was stolen from an, at the time, 6-year-old YouTube video showing a 13-week ultrasound of twin boys.
Thank you,
All right,
Lisa.
so let's take a look at a piece of evidence that was submitted to the court in their paternity case. Okay, so as you can see here, she sent him this email, 100 million% real ultrasound video. Here's the video, dated September 5th, 2023. You can see Laura's name at the top there, how far along it says she is.
I heard she was a
Baby
striker
B,
clicker.
placenta, baby A. So making it look like the technician put these labels in.
So you'll see it's her name at the top, Laura Owens, okay? And with the date. This is what she sent. And thank you so much, Lisa. That was very kind of you. Thank you, Shacked, over 36 months. And thank you, Akando in the Hood, for 8 months. You guys are the best. I've missed you all so much.
Here for her twins that she claims to be carrying, belonging to Clayton. Now, you could see it jumped to a new clip here. Baby B and baby A, it jumps again. All right, and baby A there. Again, that's the one she sent Clayton on October 6, 2023. So now here, twin genders seen at 13 weeks from 2017.
Look, she took
You
it
can
from
immediately
YouTube.
see this video is identical to the one that Laura sent Clayton. There's baby B, placenta pops up right
Yes,
away,
Julia.
just like on Laura's video. You can see the mouse moving around. baby A.
Missed you too,
Now
Will.
here is where Laura cuts and pastes. She cuts out some, there's baby B, from the original video and crops them together so that it looks like enough like a different video, but people saw right through that.
And it sucks because in one of the court hearings, and again, we're going to go through them in order, but when Clay didn't have an attorney, and it goes to show you really need counsel, he was not able to express to the judge, this was a reused video that was posted 6-7 years ago. And the judge was like, she's clearly pregnant, like, because she was in the courtroom at this point with her bump. Okay. She wasn't pregnant. But I have to show you guys just this. Hold on. Here's another one. Okay. This was submitted into evidence. She was charged for this photo too. This was her sister, but she used this and sent it to make it seem like it was her.
Ninja.
Thank you, Tess. Aw, Captain, my captain. This is her sister. And that's her dad in the hospital.
Schnitzel Ninja.
Schnitzel Ninja. This channel is awesome as far as all of the stuff. Now wait, I'm gonna show you. I'm jumping around now. I'm sorry, guys. It's so disorganized. I'm just so excited. There was a guy before. There was two guys at least before. Sorry, hold on. There were at least two guys before that she had done this to. One of them being Mark Gillespie. He ended up coming to Clay's court hearing to be a witness, okay? But he recorded a phone call. This was before she did it this most recent time, where she claimed she was pregnant with twins also. And this is like 5 minutes long, but just listen. Just listen. This is how crazy this chick is.
This is what I've always wanted, kids. Oh my gosh. My mom was a twin also, so I always knew that I had the gene.
I have the gene. Don't.
No, I do. My mom's a twin.
Okay.
Oh, she is. So in that picture, the baby looks about 5 weeks and 4 days old. And that's
5 weeks and 4 days. I estimated that. That's not what Greg, that's not
Wait,
at
what?
all.
No, I said
scientific.
no, the baby's about 5 weeks and 4 days. You didn't say that. It's not in the text. I'm just telling you, it looks like it's about 5 weeks and 4 days
What does
old.
that even mean?
That's exactly the day that we did it. So like, this is
5 weeks and 4 days? It says 5, I think it was 5 weeks. What are you talking about?
It says 5 weeks. Yeah, that's right when we did.
I estimate.
Oh, this is a photo of her also outside of his house that he had taken. That's what we're looking at too.
The date. What are you talking about?
Oh, you estimated the date.
Yeah.
Oh, you put it on there.
I estimated. They ask you when you think you got pregnant.
Oh.
And that's how you know she's never been pregnant before. They do not ask you when you thought you became pregnant. They ask you when was the first day of your last period. That is why it's always a little bit off. There's usually about 2 weeks from when your due date is estimated. They may additional follow-up ask you, like, do you have an idea? But they ask you when was the first day of your last menstrual cycle. That's what they ask you.
Okay. Okay, so what were you trying to do other than be sarcastic?
Nothing. I'm just excited we're gonna have a kid.
What? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to say?
What do you mean?
Because you're obviously not excited. So what
So your pills didn't work?
I didn't say my pills didn't work. I got an ultrasound today.
I know, but they didn't work.
Did you not see that the other thing is like the tiniest thing you've ever seen? It clearly stopped the growth in that.
Wait, what thing? That's not a child. There's no twins in this picture.
Yeah, there are. Do you want me to zoom in on it for you?
Yeah, I don't know. There's no twins in this photo.
Yeah, there is.
Where?
I remember that.
I don't know. I know how to read ultrasounds. This is a single baby.
You know how to read ultrasounds?
Yeah.
If you go down, here, I'll just screenshot it for you.
Marie Joey. And I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. I'm just so like mind blown by this. And they went to court too before Clay.
So what? You want me to? Do you think that?
Yes.
You want me to tell you I made a mistake, and you want me to? What did you say?
Well, you clearly were never planning to see me again.
Wait, you want me to stop and tell you? Let's go see the lawyer together.
Let's go what?
Let's go to the lawyer together. We'll talk to the lawyer.
That's why I was
what
like,
you would like to do?
Yeah.
let's just do it together.
You don't want
Clicker.
to do. So you were just totally bullshitting.
Wait,
me
so
then?
you want to have a surgical? Oh, wait, you want to have a? Wait, I'm just reading still. You want to have an abortion, a surgical abortion?
That's what I thought you wanted.
So you want to go have a surgical abortion?
That was what I thought you wanted. Greg, I'm serious that I would do a paternity test at 8 weeks. I'm not kidding you.
That's cool.
I don't deserve this. I deserve you to keep your.
So wait, why didn't you answer the question about the photo online?
I did. What did you want me to say?
Why is it your photo?
It's not my photo.
Why not? You don't wait. Didn't you find it peculiar how similar it looks?
No, I don't find anything peculiar with an ultrasound photo. They all look the same.
They do?
All ultrasounds look virtually the same. I don't find anything weird with that.
You have experience in this?
With ultrasound?
Yeah.
I've had pregnant friends before.
Do you have any currently?
Yeah, why?
Who?
Well, it's my sister's friend who's supposed to be in her wedding, but she's due any day now.
Oh, that's cool.
Why?
Well, does she live in Phoenix?
No, she lives in San Francisco. Why?
Oh. So you got pregnancy friends.
Pregnancy
It's
friends.
not even a friend. It's my sister. Okay.
This will be first trip here. Entry number 169, Sirocco 91. Owner Rudder, Lauren.
Okay. So the bottom again is a video she sent to prove she was pregnant. And this will come up in court. Doctors, experts on the stand testifying about whether or not someone who is not pregnant could have swelling in the abdomen like that. But also on the top is her competing on a horse 3 days before this pregnancy video. Okay.
Owens out of Scottsdale, Arizona.
Look at this. 3 days prior on top. Welcome, Anton. Listen, I've seen really skinny girls be able to push their stomach out and look a certain way. Three days prior. Okay. Now I'm going to get back to reading these. And sorry, I'll be more organized next time. I'm just so excited. I just fell down this rabbit hole and I'm so excited to go over it with you guys, but I'm still learning myself. Like there's so many layers to it. So the next email proof provided to Clayton and your family's invitation to an ultrasound. Sunday, July 2nd. This is to his parents. This is to his parents because, again, he had her blocked. Okay. He had her blocked on text messaging. So she was blowing out via email. So he wasn't answering to this is the last time. This is the last chance. If you want to get an abortion and date me, you have to answer now. So what does she do? She reaches out to his parents. Okay. So she writes, proof provided to Clayton and your family's invitation to my ultrasound. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Echard. On Thursday, Clayton said that if I provided him with additional information, such as the date and time of my next ultrasound, he would be able to be cordial. I gave it to him and I invited him, but I have not heard back. I was lucky enough to get accepted to see a high-risk specialist on July 24th at 9 a.m. for an ultrasound, and it's an hour-long consultation. I told Clayton that he was welcome to go and that if I wanted him to, and even offered to change the date and time if it didn't work for him. I explained that it's a referral-based practice that does not accept patients without medical records, including verification of the pregnancy and test results from a specialist to prove that there is a condition that requires a high-risk obstetrician. My neurologist about my generalized epilepsy, it's in my case. I understood his need for extra proof, so I sent him screenshots from my patient portal to show him proof of the appointment and the records they received. Even though I have gone above and beyond to prove to Clayton that my pregnancy is real, nothing is enough for him to be civil to me. Even though he claimed weeks ago that the test I took in front of him that was positive would be sufficient. I've taken the initiative to contact 3 different labs to organize a prenatal pregnancy test at the one that can do it the soonest, and that will be acceptable by the court so that I can establish paternity as soon as possible, and so that we can make a parenting plan as we are required to do so. Pause. Now she has filed with family court paternity. That's the first filing as far as courts between Laura and Clay. So she goes down to family court and files paternity case against Clay for child support. She was never pregnant. Okay? I am very financially stable and want absolutely no money from him except what is required by law. All I want is the support he promised to provide me with. I'm under an immense amount of stress and I have developed high blood pressure and have explained that this could cause the baby to be born with developmental issues, which I know we don't want. There's a portion redacted and it says, with all of that being said, The purpose of this email is twofold. One, I wanted to show you how much information Clayton has been provided with by me to verify the pregnancy. This is what he asked for, all of which was given. There was so much that it wouldn't all fit in a single email. So I had to make a Dropbox file of it. You can access all of the proof by clicking here. Based on how he has treated me, I don't want him present at the ultrasound and appointment on the 24th. Hearing the heartbeat for the first time is sacred to me, but I know it means nothing to him since he has not had the courtesy to respond to my invitation to be there or even change the date and time. Either or both of you or your other sons are welcome to be at the appointment if you would like to be. I know it's an important event and I want people there who feel the same. I just didn't want you guys to not feel included just because Clayton is no longer welcome unless he drastically changes his behavior and shows some respect. If he does, of course, he can come. There's no need to respond if you don't want to, but please know that your family is most definitely welcome to be there, and I would change the day and time for you guys if the current date didn't work. Thank you for reading this, and I hope you're having a great weekend. To his parents. Okay? two invisible children, because it's twins. It's twins, don't forget. I cannot wait for you guys to watch the court hearings. It is mind-blowing. Okay? So we have a dating contract. Subject line, important. Clayton, I was going to ask if you wanted to read the article I wrote before submitting it to the Huffington Post, but I know you won't respond. So I'll take that as I have your permission to send it in as is. Pause. And she did. This is very overlapping with depth versus heard, going to media outlets and putting out a story that comes out was not true, you know, but she did go to the media. Before I do that, and prior to your work getting involved with withholding income for child support, I wanted to ask one last time about the agreement. I added a few things to it that are in bold. Here it is. And it's a clickable PDF version 4 relationship non-disclosure agreement. Yes, that's right. She has a dating contract that she is agreeing to abort twins in exchange for dating exclusively with intentions, as she words it. I also contacted another abortion pill company who said we could still do it at this point if we wanted to. You haven't and aren't putting pressure on me to do that, but it is really important that we talk about this if you don't want to have the twins with me. Your behavior leads me to believe that that would be your preference. So you need to say something if it is. I will not hold it against you whatsoever if you sign the agreement. If you don't, that's fine. But we are having them. Stop. We are having these twins if you do not sign this contract. Sorry, I'm getting angry. This contract saying you will date me. And I know I'm jumping ahead, but I have to say, she claims rape, abuse. They never had sex. They never even had sex. This is the toxic female that I refer to when speaking about Letitia. It's sick. And thank the Lord she is finally being held accountable, but she has had countless victims. She had so many victims. I just want to have a fresh start and remove all of this animosity from the picture. We need to be making smart decisions right now, not ones driven by emotions. Neither one of us wanted this, but it's happened, and we need to make a smart choice. If I don't hear back, then fine. We can continue like this, and I will submit my piece to the Huffington Post. But your unresponsiveness is getting you nowhere with me and will get you in trouble with the court. Please simply consider the agreement with modifications. It is written entirely in your favor, not mine. All the best, Laura Owens. How crazy is this? So here are the changes. Are you ready for this PDF? Here is the contract. Here are the changes. 4, terms of the agreement. Or 6, I'm not sure. The couple agrees that, 1, for a period of 1 week while determining the best course of action for their pregnancy, Party A and Party B will exclusively explore a relationship with, quote, intention, meaning with the goal of it turning into something long-lasting and meaningful. There is no obligation to engage in intercourse if either party is uncomfortable with the act. This is a real thing. 2, from the date that this agreement is signed until 1 week after, no action whatsoever will be taken in FC 2023-052114 or in any family, civil, or criminal court cases. 3, Party A and Party B agree to take a paternity test with the lab of Party A's choice, Ravgen, and will schedule it within 24 hours of when this agreement is signed. 4, after the paternity test results come back, providing Party A to be the father of Party B's twins, then Party B will execute a HIPAA release for Party B to discuss the pregnancy with any of Party A's providers from the date of conception, May 20th, through the end of the pregnancy in February 2024. She did, Gidget. She did. 5, if a joint decision is made to terminate the pregnancy, then Party A and Party B will stipulate to dismiss FC 2023-052114 once the pregnancy is confirmed by a doctor to no longer be viable. Party B will pay Party A's legal fees to date. 6, during the 1 week period, if the decision is made to continue the pregnancy, then Party A and Party B will discuss what would make the best situation for the children, whether that be raising them together or apart. The goal would be to keep the case out of court and to avoid accruing continued legal fees. FC 2023-052114 will remain active until an agreement is made outside of court. Then the parties will stipulate to dismiss it. 7, there is no obligation for the relationship to work out beyond the 1 week. However, if it is apparent that this agreement was entered into for the wrong reasons, evidenced by abuse of any kind, verbal, emotional, or physical, it is null and void. At the end of the 1 week period, provided the terms have been met, then Party A and Party B are forever barred from bringing charges against each other for any reason up to that date. I'm sorry, when you're being honest, I can't even throw out a hypothetical here because we're dealing with a dating contract. But 2, if you're being honest, why would you need to include that clause like, hey, no matter what, You can't ever bring criminal, civil, no type of charges against me. For what? You're being honest. Tell me you're lying without telling me you're lying. Okay. We have the next email, August 3rd, 2023. And like I said, the next live, we're going to be starting the court hearings. And I'm just so excited to go through this with you guys. Clayton, this is actually the last email. It loses all its power. You have to realize there was a few he responded to, which you'll hear more in the court hearing. But she had sent like over 500. 500. You're so funny, Jade 13. So Clayton, this is actually the last email. Davis said that you're, quote, not interested in resolving this amicably at all, and that nothing will change your mind. I know that there's one thing that will get you to take a paternity test and communicate: going to the media. I wanted to give you a heads up of what I am going to be submitting as a tip to Page 6 and the New York Post. I have my red receipts turned on, so if you read this and I don't hear back, I will go ahead and submit it. If for some reason this changes your mind, let me know. Regardless, you will have to acknowledge the situation very soon. So it's just your choice as to whether it's with the public involved or just me. And she attaches the tip submission, Clayton being nice, email to Clayton listing his, and I can't read the rest, extortion threats, established paternity, borderline suicidal letter to Clayton, the last email to Clayton, declaration of service. She attaches all these PDFs. What would make you think that, Samantha? So, and as you can see, Exhibit 4, because a lot of this is exhibits in the court cases. Laura to Clayton, Friday, August 4th. Clayton, you can have your attorney talk to me rather than Davis, because I'm not sure what type of lawyer to retain since you hired an entertainment defamation attorney rather than a family lawyer. Pause. Again, at this point, there's just a paternity case in family court, but he hires a defamation lawyer. Okay. Similarly, you can respond to me and not Davis. Anyway, he relayed your message, and here is my response. Quote, she continues to claim that I'm denying a paternity test, but I haven't once. You're right. You haven't once. You have 21 times. See attached. If that's what you've told your lawyer, it's an out and out lie. I continue to say that I will gladly do a paternity test under the conditions that I am comfortable with. Nothing has changed. Let me know if you're amendable to that. If so, let's schedule and get it done ASAP. All the best. And she attaches unanswered emails to paternity test. So she just attaches all of the emails that he never responded to. Okay. So this is her reaching out to the Hope conference speaker. Hope, I'm not familiar what Hope is, but again, they had a large social media presence, entertainment presence. They were public figures. So I'm not sure what it is. Let me see, actually. Hope. What's Hope? Hope Foundation is supports street children in Kolkata, India, the Hope Foundation for Cancer Research, and the Hope Philanthropic Endeavors Foundation, which provides community grants. Harley, like, what did she think? It reminds me so much of Letitia trying to bargain with Al on those calls. Like, what did you think was going to happen? So she writes, "Hi, my name is Laura Owens, and I am hesitant to send this email, but felt like I needed to do so I can have a clear conscience. I would ask that you please keep this information confidential. I learned that Clayton Echard is a speaker at the Hope Conference. I am pregnant with his unborn twins and have filed to establish paternity with the court. Clayton has gone dark on me, despite the fact that I have provided him with an abundance of evidence of the pregnancy. I even took a test in front of him that he purchased, which came back positive. Now, he is refusing to take a paternity test. I was raped, assaulted, and left for dead in March of 2022. And up until my encounter with Clayton, I was not with anyone else. I haven't been since either. He is 100% the father. You can click the links below, including my TEDx talk, to see that I have credibility. To say that I have been overwhelmed since I found out that I was pregnant would be an understatement. The thought of raising one unexpected child would be a lot to handle, but the thought of bringing two into the world really put me over the edge with anxiety. Clayton had promised to support me after I took the positive pregnancy test in front of him, but like I mentioned, he has decided to ignore me. He has said mainly that he wants me to have full custody, but said twice that he wanted full custody. I would move to another state with the kids. They are due in February 2024, and I have no idea what to expect of Clayton when they are born. I have been very scared of the future and lonely, and confided to Clayton on the 30th of July that I was feeling borderline suicidal. He chose to ignore me, knowing that if I hurt myself, it would kill his unborn twins. Pause. Do you see that fucking manipulation? That is what I cannot stand. Right there. I sent you a suicidal letter and you still didn't respond. And it would have taken not only my life, but life. First of all, sorry, the only person accountable is yourself. And that might be harsh. That's your choice. You don't get to put that on someone else. Not that I ever think she was considering doing anything. Who stores it, logs it, and puts it as a clickable link in all of these email chains? She is sick. Sick, sick, sick. I cannot wait to cover her trial. Okay. Okay. The only reason I have felt this way is because of him and how he has treated me throughout the process. He has acted like I was ugly and not worth his time of effort to try to date despite our situation. He has dehumanized me, been extremely demeaning, and has gaslit me throughout the process. I have wanted no money from Clayton. All I want is his support because this is a very scary time for me. I wish I had the option to just block someone and forget the pregnancy existed, but obviously I don't have that choice. I wanted to pass this information on in case he wanted to reconsider Clayton's role as a speaker at the conference. Based on how he has treated me, he is the last person who is qualified to give a speech about suicide prevention and intervention when he doesn't even care if the mother of his children took that final action. I'm sure he will try to portray me as crazy if you speak to him about this, but I assure you that Clayton is the father of the children and he knows it, which is why he is refusing the prenatal paternity test that I offered to pay for. I am attaching my letter to him regarding feeling borderline suicidal, as well as the court papers that were served on him to prove that we are indeed part of a paternity case. I have plenty of other evidence that the pregnancy is real, should you need to see it. If Clayton can provide value to people despite this, then by all means, I support him being a speaker, and I apologize for even sending this email. I just wanted you to know that he may not be speaking for the right reasons, since he clearly doesn't care about the cause as much as I hoped he did. I am putting him on this email as I have nothing to hide, and he knew I would be sending this. Thank you for your time. All the best. And she sends the links. She included him on the email chain. And this is all what's going to come up as trial, because not only did you knowingly know it was a lie, you intended to do malicious and reckless harm. That's his career. That's his job. How fucked up. Yeah, Marie Joey. Oh my God, guys. I'm just so blown away by this. I'm so blown away by it. Exhibit 3. This is August 17th. To Clayton. Clayton, I genuinely thought you would have unblocked me based on what I wrote about how I felt disrespected. But I guess that's a no. As you can see, I was offering to do the test with no stipulations if you had done that. Now, it's not an option. I have tried everything at this point and give up on trying to get you to take accountability and deal with this issue privately. I think you want it to be public, which I don't want. Anyway, that's how it will have to go, because you can ignore the fact that you will be a dad in February. Above attachment was a screen recording of petitioner's text message to respondent asking to take a paternity test. I don't even know. Oh no, Shakto. Oh no. Yo, this is happening all the time too. That's what's fucking horrible. This shit happens all the time. A long time, Samantha. It's 7 felonies. Let me actually look. How much time is she facing? It's not clear how much prison time Laura will face. That depends on how the court weighs her case, whether charges are proved, whether she takes a plea. An estimate carrying 3 to 12 years. It could put it could put her at 29 and a half years. But that would be like the maximum. I don't know. So there's that, only because, and again, we're going to go through it all. She submitted under oath false testimony and exhibit. So not only, it's one thing to do it on your own, it's another thing to do it under oath in court. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I sure as hell hope not. I hope not. We have an August 17th email to be filed tomorrow. Clayton, if you don't agree to meet up privately, then tomorrow I will be filing the motion to contempt and the second good faith consultation certificate showing that you yet again refuse to participate in the conference needed for this motion. If you agree to meet up privately, then I will be filing the notice of withdrawal of motion to communicate. A notice of motion to communicate, guys. Please let me know what you want to do. Or if I don't hear back, I will be filing the first 2 I mentioned. And she has motion for contempt, good faith consult certificate, and notice of withdrawal of motion to communicate. She's sending him all the links. It started, that was the first filing in court, but then they got civil protection orders against each other. Then we're going to go through all of it. There are so many cases, but it was through those orders that all of this, it took that one judge to refer her out that got the investigation going, because she's like, no, there's something wrong here. Okay, we got like, I think 3 left. So this is, I don't know the exact date. I can't see the date. But it says, oh, and it's to his family too. Good morning. I wanted to give an update on where things stand, as I have not heard back from Clayton and presume he still has me blocked, which he told me before he does when he doesn't want to deal with the situation. If only I had the opportunity to do the same. But obviously, my body isn't allowing me to forget that I am pregnant. Rather than continuing to send him several emails a day, I hope that we can meet in person to discuss what is going on. Because as Clayton said last week, I feel we need to have a face-to-face discussion. It's too easy to get upset via text, but in-person conversations are more caring and cordial. I believe this is exactly what we need, as texting hasn't been working well, and we should have been talking in person for most of this anyways. Texting isn't meant for meaningful, impactful, life-changing conversations, and I've known and learned that plenty of times. I told Clayton last week that I was going to be going to California for the weekend, and that if I was going to get abortion pills, it would be much easier to do so there in California for many reasons, and less traumatic because there isn't a law like there is in Arizona that requires the mother to view the ultrasound. Pause. This is to like his parents, guys. I know, Tess. Like, I'm very interested in liars, like the psychology behind it. Like, it always very much intrigues me. Severely clicker, and still actively, you know, and we're going to get into that. And I think there's a fund for the one guy who, and I apologize because I just fell down this rabbit hole recently, and so I don't know everything black and white perfectly. But that's why I was like, you know what? Let me come on and let's do it together, because if I'm watching it by myself, may as well watch it together. But I think there's a fund to help the one guy that she does still have an active order against. A different, like a crazy J13. I don't understand how there are people like this out there. So she's, again, sending this to his parents. He has told me that he wants me to take the pills, but understands that his preference for me doing so, because it would impact his ability to date other women in the future, is not enough of a reason for me to end a human life. I am attaching a screenshot of my chart after my visit on Sunday to Planned Parenthood in Orange County, which confirms that I had an ultrasound that was consistent with the conception date of May 20th when I was with Clayton. And like I've said, he's the only person I've been with since March 2022, that there was a gestational sac, meaning a viable pregnancy, and that I refused to view the ultrasound and take the abortion pills at the clinic. They don't typically allow you to take them home, but since I live out of state and was as conflicted as I was, they allowed me to. Now that we know we have a viable pregnancy, things seem all the more urgent. I'll continue to say until I'm blue in the face that Clayton is the father and that there is a 0% chance that this is anyone else. I told him that he needs to pay for the prenatal paternity test because it is not providing me with any information that I don't know, but that I will gladly reimburse him for the full amount if I'm wrong. He agreed to that. I am eager to get it done and have contacted multiple companies about the timing of it. The consensus is that while it can be performed at 7 weeks, there is a chance that there is not enough fetal DNA present at that point, in which case you would have to repeat the $1,500 test. It seems like we would be safest doing it at 8 weeks. Although ArcPoint Labs based in Scottsdale said 12 weeks was their minimum. The results will come back in 7 to 10 business days. It was explained to me at Planned Parenthood that medication abortions are most successful early on in the pregnancy, and that as the weeks go on, they become less effective. By the time the results are back from the prenatal paternity test, I would need to do a surgical abortion, which I will not do under any circumstances. I only mention this because once the prenatal paternity test is taken, it's a done deal that I am having the child and that there will not be an option for an abortion once the results come back. My preference has been to have the baby all along, so that's obviously not an issue for me. But if it is for Clayton, he needs to know that. I haven't lied about one thing so far, despite his doubts. He himself had me take a pregnancy test, which turned out positive. And now a doctor has confirmed the pregnancy on an ultrasound and said it was the very small size it should be based on the date I was intimate with him. If he doesn't trust me, that's fine. And I am more than happy to prove him wrong again. I just know how high the stakes are right now and want to be clear that this really is the last time that I will consider an abortion. The last thing I would want if I were in Clayton's position is to feel like I didn't have an opinion on something so important. But it seems like his reaction to the stakes getting higher is to withdraw even further. However, there are several factors at play that he needs to consider regarding my health and its impact on the baby if we decide to carry it to term. First of all, my stress levels have a major impact on the fetus's development in the womb, and not having any emotional support from Clayton like he promised has been extremely difficult on me. Most importantly, though, my neurologist has emphasized that I need to change my dose of epilepsy medication significantly because I'm at a higher risk of a seizure during pregnancy, and having one could have a terrible impact on the baby. I've delayed going up on it because I haven't known what we are doing, but I really need to make a decision. I don't think that either Clayton nor I could forgive ourselves if the child ends up having a lifelong condition that could have been preventable. On a personal level, I wanted to share that a big reason I am against terminating the pregnancy is because of the impact not having an abortion had on my family. My great grandma was 14 when she gave birth to my grandma, who she gave up for adoption. If she had an abortion, I wouldn't be here. It's impossible for me to think about terminating the pregnancy without thinking of that, even though in many ways, not having the baby would be an easier option. I'm also getting feedback from my sister, whose baby was born a month early on May 24th, and who says that it was the greatest thing she's ever experienced, but that it's also the hardest, and she can't imagine how she could do it without a partner. On the other hand, my mom has been the main source of support on this and has asked me to think about what I would regret more when I'm 90 years old and on my deathbed, having had an abortion or having had the child. When I think of it that way, the idea of giving up the child feels implausible, even though Clayton has told me many times that he would not want any custody nor to have anything to do with him or her. I imagine that would change at some point once he saw the baby. I would absolutely expect him to share custody and parenting time with me. I apologize for yet another email, but I feel really helpless in terms of communicating with Clayton. And as the father of the child, he's the only person whose support and input really matters to me. Obviously, having a child would completely change the course of our lives, and I want to figure out what we are doing together. I know that many women would make their own decision without regard for the baby's father's opinion, but that's just not me, and I need to understand that. I really care about Clayton's feelings, but I can't take them into consideration if he's treating me like this. If we're going forward with it, that's great, and I want to be able to get excited about it. But right now, it feels like there's tension in the air about what is happening, and the silence is deafening. If there's anything you can do to talk to him, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. The Tinder spin? No, but I've been watching Monster with Charlie Hunnam. Only Charlie Hunnam can still look great as Ed Gein. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. There's a good chance, Clicker, if you watch the body cam footage that was just released, she was real concerned. She was real concerned about her mom's phone. Yeah, Gidget, I didn't really like either of the first two seasons anyway. You know what I mean? I'm not really into the way that it gets shot. I love Ryan Murphy and American Horror Story, but I don't know. Like I'm more of accuracy. I like things to be accurate. Oh yeah, Charlie Hunnam's great. Okay, we're almost done. All right, Laura to Clayton, September 20th. Clayton, it came to my attention that you may be trying to get information from one of the two ex-boyfriends I have a restraining order against, and more specifically, his partner. Previously, you had promised me that you wouldn't do that, which I have in text messages. Okay, so now she's freaking out. Yes, girls, Nana. Now she's freaking out because now Clayton's speaking to her ex that she's done this to. She's done this to others, identical with narcolepsy, identical down to the twins. We listened to that phone call. She's freaking out. I'm sure you have been informed that I have been pregnant twice. Once in 2016 when I was 26, and in 2021 when I was 31. Since I know where your head is going, please also remember that just because I was pregnant before doesn't mean I am not pregnant now, which I very much am. And obviously, you're the father. The information I am giving you means absolutely nothing in the context of this. The only pattern I have is that I have been pregnant twice before. Considering there are many women in this country who have many more than 3 children by the time they are 33, my history is not unusual. And if you were to publicly act like it is, I'm sure you would get attacked by feminist groups. Fuck you. Sorry. I hate that shit. You guys know I hate that shit. Hi, Neat Noodle. Tonsil twins. I love Law Talk with Mike. I listen to his stuff throughout the day. Yeah, he does Coffee and Skeletons. Yep, Clicker. So she writes, I'm sure that you think this information will give you some sort of smoking gun, but let me assure you, I have no shame regarding the pregnancy themselves. I regret having the abortions. Huh? She said she had abortions. I regret having the abortions, which certainly has been a part of why this situation has been so difficult for me. Obviously, the situations under which I would bring these children into the world would not be ideal. But I am 33, and I feel like this would probably be my last chance to get pregnant. While the ex from the abortion in 2021 forced me to have an abortion, which we have been in litigation about, I have been extremely clear that I have never once felt pressured from you to have an abortion and will gladly go on the record as saying that. If you decide you want to go public about what has happened in the past with my reproductive history, I will sue you. That is my confidential reproductive medical information, and you are not allowed to disclose it publicly. Pause. Because I hear this so much on YouTube about drama shit. People really need to learn what HIPAA laws are because people really don't understand it. People really don't understand HIPAA laws. If you share medical documents with me and I put those medical documents out, that does not go against HIPAA. That does not violate HIPAA laws. If you put it out, take it back down, someone else repost it, that does not violate HIPAA. Correct, Clicker. I've listened to people claim their HIPAA was violated so many times, and they have no idea what they're talking about. Okay. In addition, both pregnancies happened with men I have restraining orders against, and disclosing that information would put me in jeopardy. You guys have to remember, he had a large social media presence, and then he started using his social media to talk about this situation and get their support. I just wanted to warn you of that now. My prior pregnancies have nothing to do with the fact that I am pregnant now and that you are the father. I am providing this info as a courtesy to you, but all of this is for your eyes only and not allowed to be sent to the press or anyone. It is entirely confidential. Please click this Dropbox link for all the documents I am sending you. 2016 pregnancy. I became pregnant by the man in San Francisco who I have a CLETS restraining order against. Our restraining order obviously had absolutely nothing to do with the pregnancy, and in fact came about 2 years afterwards when he stalked me after I broke things off. He continued to violate the order, which prompted me to move to Scottsdale. That is the ex I talked about in the TEDx talk. 2021 pregnancy. Screen recording from one medical patient portal attached. Since I'm sure you already know this, that ex and I have been involved in litigation since 2021, but it is coming to an end, as he is going to be forced to settle the case or pay me a large fee if it goes to trial. I became pregnant by him in August 2021. He violently and forcefully ensured that I would have an abortion. After I went to One Medical to have the pregnancy confirmed, he insisted that we do a video visit, which we had with an NP, who, after seeing how angry he was and had him leave the chat after she said the test was indeed positive. The ex in Arizona that I have a restraining order against is 100,000 times more dangerous than the one I have the order against in California. The FBI has been investigating him in connection with what happened to me in March 2022, which I am not even allowed to say. And if I discover that you have told him and his partner this, you will be jeopardizing my safety. I even had security provided to me because of the extent to which he went to retaliate against me. If that's the case, he is in violation of the order I have against him. He is a very dangerous man who at least one other woman also has an order against. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into if you are dealing with him. He is not who he appears to be and has a very dark connection. I am happy to provide you with more information about that in person, but not via email where it could be discovered, since a part of his order was because of cyber hacking. Again, these abortions are not related to what's going on with us right now, but certainly have shaped how I feel about the current pregnancy. The other two were early abortions. I have not been pregnant for this long before. When you search my name in the court, the two FC cases are my restraining orders against the ex from 2021 and 2022. Same person. The other civil case I have is when I sued my contractor for shoddy work on the barn and I won. I also have a case in SF that I filed from when I was the passenger in an Uber. The driver was texting and we got into a bad crash in a tunnel. That is all you will find on me. All the best, Laura Owens. Dude, how crazy is this? Yep. No, Samantha. And you'll see that on the next live when we go over the court hearing. And it sucked because he didn't have an attorney at first. And I think he did a good job at presenting, but everything changed once he had counsel, even though the judge in that case really limited the time that was allotted. But he knew. And Mark Lepsby, the guy that she did this to prior, showed up to that court hearing and was there to be a witness. Okay. Then we have, oh my gosh. Echard twins coming February. Oh my God, guys. I didn't even see this. Ah, clicker. Okay. The girl? Yes, Tess. And the hearings with Mark Lepsby are available too. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to make it smaller to zoom in. Okay. And if you want option A, I will not post this. I am just looking for support during this incredibly overwhelming time. Only open this if you want option A and will unblock me. Seriously, that's what the subject line is. Final email regarding this, but I wanted to give you the courtesy of showing you the post. I'm attaching the photo I'm going to use. I'm over being treated like shit, and at least if this is public, you'll have to give a statement to the media. Not sure when I will put it up. The caption is, surprise, I can't wait for the arrival of these two next Valentine's Day. On a more serious note, their father, at Clayton Echard, has said he, quote, wants nothing to do with this process. He has blocked me from messaging him, refuses to see me and his growing babies, and says he will continue to ignore me. He doesn't want to have anything to do with them when they're born and thinks they will negatively impact his dating life. Tag him and let him know what you think. Please note the following legal waiver. If, after proof of opening is obtained, I choose not to respond to this email, I am confirming that its content is true. This includes my acknowledgement of paternity. In addition, by not responding, I am giving my approval to Laura Owens to post the above content on social media. Clayton, this is a situation you can't run and hide from. You will need to take accountability for your actions, which created twins. If I can't get you to do it, then maybe the public can convince you to. All the best. Dude, you need to, Kelly. You need to. Could you imagine posting this to social media and then tagging and being like, let them know what you think? I can't. The level of crazy is different with this one. I cannot imagine what her trial is going to be like. Oh my good Lord. And then there's one last thing. Yeah. Ultrasound proof. This is the one that got her. Big boo-boo. Clayton, here is my 100,000,000,000% real ultrasound video. There was an issue with the sample, as Brett said. All the best. And that's the one I showed you guys. Yes, please do, clicker. That's the one I showed you guys before that she took from YouTube. That was 7 years old. Yeah, BB Lee. Oh, it's just mind blowing. So now, and again, I'm not doing like a perfect timeline, but I just get so excited to go over it with you guys. I want to show you guys the court hearing on the next live. I guess we'd have to go in order. Yeah, we'd kind of have to go in order. But I have to show you guys what she did on this court hearing. Hold on. She stood the entire court hearing like this. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Okay. Yes. Okay. 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 This is the one we're going to be watching on the next live. I have to because it's the most bizarre thing I've seen. So it's on a Zoom like this, okay? And you have the judge in the bottom right. You have her attorney, the bottom left, Clay in the top right, and then Laura, okay? But I just need to show you just for a second how she does this entire Zoom, okay? She does this entire Zoom
unborn children
with her face essentially cut off to show this baby bump. She so desperately wanted Clay because he hasn't answered her emails. You have to remember, she's desperately trying to get in touch with him. So look, she spends this whole court hearing just making sure to lift up and show this fake baby bump. Fake baby bump. Look at her lifting up on her toes. The whole court hearing, desperate to have him look at his bump, or look at her bump. Okay. But it's the way it ends that does it for me. Okay. So I'm going to jump to the end just because I'm going to spoil it all, but just listen because they have to come back for a second day. It's fake, Kelly. They have to come back for a second day, but listen to what she asks this judge. Okay.
So it's scheduled for 3 hours, yes. Okay.
So November 2nd at 11. We're going to pick up with the exhibits, defense exhibits, and then we'll allow Mr. Echard to do cross-examination. And then Mr. Echard, you would have the opportunity to present any rebuttal testimony if you felt that was needed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I'm surprised the judge did not say, yo, you need to be sitting in frame. I watch these court hearings all day long, like I said, while working. And the way people attend virtual court is insane. But I'm shocked she didn't say you have to be in frame and sitting down. And thank you, Sunshine Mafia, for 22 months. Happy members Monday. Glad I caught it. Me too. But wait, just wait.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, wait, I jumped too
We'll
forward.
get this out longer than it needs to go. So if it were, if I may, I would like to ask for the 26th so that we can forward in a quicker manner.
And I understand. I just think he has a court conflict. I'm not sure when the set when I know he has a court conflict.
Is it possible, like, if
Look at her.
time in the
That
afternoon, like
fucking bump isn't real. They
They
never
Don't
had
have another
sex.
infraction trial that'll-
I guess my question is would your court case not have an end time? And if so, what is that time? Well, usually, just like in a criminal trial, it's usually 3 hours. So, it'd be kind of like this. So the court's saying 11. Is that what you said, Your Honor, like 11 or 11:30? And
11 is when I can do it.
Look at her rocking. Look what she's doing.
Here, that's going to be a minimum of 30 minutes. I wouldn't be able to finish that.
Yep.
But even assuming they start at 8:30. Okay, so it's supposed to. I'm not trying to be difficult. So you're saying it's supposed to start at 8:30. That's correct. And it's scheduled for a 3-hour time limit. This has a time limit on it, so it's scheduled for 3 hours. Yes. Okay. Oh.
So November 2nd at 11. We're going to pick up with.
I have to find, where is it? Oh, it's right around here. Look at it. I'm sorry. But look at her. Like, this is how she is the entire court hearing, rubbing on the belly, like just desperately so sick in the head, desperately just needing him to see I'm pregnant, see my bump, see it. But watch what she asks. And I know I keep saying that, but I should have had the timestamp ready.
I can do, either the 26th to Thursday at 11, or I can do, here's your request.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Hearing.
So watch.
I don't know if there's a legal method for that.
I would just ask or make a request that she stop sending me messages. I don't think that it's, maybe it's just, I mean, I don't think it's worthwhile. It's not necessary, considering we're under, in a court case. I don't know if I can request that, but I would like to request that so that we can avoid having conversations outside of the court anyways.
Well, Your Honor, they have an active family court case right now, and I mean, this type of hearing specifically is for what Mr. Echard is asking.
Look at
So
her.
that's why we're doing this hearing, and I don't think the court can order that my client not saying that she would. But I'm just,
Did you see that? Did you see that? Shit, I'm flying pencils. Did you see she tilts down the fucking camera? Okay? You have to realize this is 2 hours in already. 2 hours in. So she was doing this for 2 hours, okay?
order that my client not saying that she would, but I'm just indicating that I don't think that this court can order her not to have any contact with them at this point. They have a family law case together. We actually have another protective order hearing tomorrow. I don't think the court has the power to do that.
Look at her adjusting it.
That request should be granted.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see her go under it and lift it up? Because if you didn't, I'm going to jump back anyway. Look at her adjust it.
Protective order hearing tomorrow. I don't think the court has
Did you
the
see she just
power to
lift?
do that.
Whoop.
I don't think that request should be.
Did you see it? You seen it, Anton? Yo, she has a fucking bump on and she's stuffing that shit up and adjusting it.
Protective order hearing tomorrow. I don't think the court has the power to do that. I don't think that request should be granted.
I don't know that I can do that officially. I think that we can note Ms. Owens, here's your request, and is asking that you cease any communication between now and when we are able to redo our hearing, unless there's a need to do that, specifically for the.
Okay, here she goes.
But I'm assuming you would communicate
Watch.
while at a court hearing versus outside of a hearing. So let me look for another date.
Okay.
Your Honor, is it possible for me to show Clayton that I am in fact pregnant because he hasn't seen me?
No.
Where is your head? Where is your head? I think about like 24 weeks, Harlot. Where's your head? Okay. And if you think this judge has not noticed for the past 2 hours, you're standing there with it fucking only on your stomach. But the fact that this was a civil protection order, what the fuck would that have to do with anything? Oh, okay. Let Clayton see you are indeed pregnant. And what you'll hear in this court hearing is that he wasn't denying that there's a chance she may be pregnant, just not with his kid, because they didn't have fucking sex. Okay. Sorry, I just still can't get over that. They did not have sex. And so you think it's a good idea after 2 hours of fucking so beyond obviously trying to zoom up to this bump. Can I just show Clayton? Look, Clayton, look, like I'm pregnant. She wasn't though. Like this is nuts. This is fucking crazy for her to do. And I love the way that the judge just like, no.
Your Honor, is it possible for me to show Clayton that I am in fact pregnant because he hasn't seen me?
No.
Yeah. We know he hasn't seen you. That's why you have been doing everything possible to get that bump in the camera frame. And she hates, because what you'll see in that's a neat noodle. That's what I said. She gives me such Tisha vibes. It's crazy. She hates that he doesn't look at her. He won't acknowledge her. He won't speak to her. But he was asking for no communication. But you have to remember, because she fucking because she had filed the paternity case in family court, like her lawyer had to argue that there had to be some form of communication, right? Because they're going for paternity testing and they're in family court. And I'm just like, what did she think was going to happen? But we're going to get down the road at the next hearing after that, where there is no baby bump because she had a miscarriage. Dude, it is just, it is so much. It is so much. So I want to go down this rabbit hole with you guys. I'm telling you, it's super fascinating, super interesting. And then trial is scheduled for January, and I'm going to cover it because now I'm hooked, line and sinkered into it. Ricky Gervais at the Oscars. I don't care. I remember, I thought of when Beyonce was allegedly pregnant and she sat down, I think it was Oprah's couch or something, and her stomach deflated. I know we spoke about that on Patreon before. Her stomach straight up deflated, like her baby bump. Yeah, Meghan Markle's. Yeah. Right, neat noodle. Right. Dude, I can't, like, I can't imagine lying like that, period. But to be so confident in court to submit falsified documents and lying under oath like that, it's insane. And to have done this to multiple men. Did it with Meghan Markle? I didn't know that happened with Meghan Markle too. Me too, Julie. I just hope the ones that she's taken orders out prior, because unfortunately it takes someone who has the status. You know, it took Clay, who has the social media presence and the following, but there are the ones that she's done it to before that didn't, that their lives were severely impacted. I don't know, Tess, but we ask that about Tisha all the time, right? Like, where did you think this was going to go? What would have happened if they agreed to go to the sonogram? Like, but they're liars like this lie to just get out of the next situation. They'll worry about how to get out of the next lie when that time comes. So, Lisa. All right. So we're going to be doing, like I said, a series on this. Sorry, it was so all over the place. I'm just so excited to go over it with you, and I'm just mind blown. But we're going to start the court hearing for the next live. And I know we're doing Idaho this week. I have to speak to Shay, see what day she's available. But I've missed you guys so much. And it's so good to be back. And so I might be back on tomorrow. So I will see you guys then. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for anyone who had gifted. And I hope you follow along because it's a wild one. It's for real. It's a wild one. I know, Carol Cooper. I'm so happy. I'm like, be invested with me so we can continue to go down the rabbit hole. It is mind-blowing. But all right, guys, I hope you have an amazing rest of your Monday night, and I will talk to you all soon.